We're going now to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who is in Minneapolis and speaking right now.
We're getting criminals, terrorists, foreign terrorist organizations, gang members off of our streets and protecting the members of this community. I have behind me 4 of the individuals that work here in the state and in this region to make sure that we're getting dangerous people away from the citizens in this community, in this state, and I want to introduce them for you. We have Sam Westbay is with HSI. He is the acting special agent that's in charge of this office, and he'll make a few opening remarks here in a little bit as well. We also have David Easterwood. David is with ERO. He is the acting field office director, and I'll ask him to give you a quick update on some of the work and operations that they've been doing as well. We have Tanya Price, who's HSI, an assistant special agent in charge that is stationed here and is doing good work for the citizens of Minnesota, and also Toria Rich. She's the ERO deputy field office director that has been here for several years now working to help protect community members. Listen, the work that these individuals have done has been incredible. Under the Trump administration, our president has been focused on protecting American citizens, on making America safe again. And these individuals get up every single day and support their law enforcement officers that are out on the street upholding the law. Now remember, in this country, with this president in the White House, we don't pick winners and losers. We don't decide which law gets enforced and which one doesn't. There are laws, they are on the books, they were put in place, voted on, and instituted, and therefore we enforce them all. If members of Congress, senators, governors don't like the law, then they should go through the work of changing them and telegraphing and communicating to their members that live in their communities why it needs to be changed. So today, these officers have done incredible work to make sure they're protecting our next generation of Americans. Just since January, they have removed over 4,300 individuals off of our streets who have been arrested and were committing crimes and here illegally in this country. 3,316 had criminal histories, which means they were out there perpetuating violence against citizens here, and now they're no longer doing that because of the work of these law enforcement officers. Of those individuals, 98 of them were gang members, members of foreign terrorist organizations as designated by the Trump administration. Also, 11 of those individuals were known or suspected terrorists, people who will not be able to commit those atrocities here in the United States because we were out on the streets arresting them and removing them and bringing them to justice. 2 of the individuals that have been arrested just since January were foreign fugitives, which means other countries were wanting them for violent crimes and looking for them, and they were able to locate them and send them home to their countries to face justice as well. Our officers are in the streets every single day doing difficult work to make sure that our laws are upheld and that families are protected. Since January, 515,000 have been arrested and deported across this country and removed for breaking our laws. 70% of those individuals had pending or criminal charges against them. I'll talk about a few of the worst that have been removed from this area, but I want you to know that the individuals that have been arrested and removed have had crimes and charges against them such as murder, assaults, homicides, robberies, carjackings, and shootings. And all of those numbers in this community, in Minneapolis and St. Paul, those numbers have only gone up since 2019. Under the leadership of Mayor Frey, under the leadership of Governor Walz, more violent crimes are being perpetuated in these communities because of their refusal to defend American citizens. Regardless, our federal officers, our ICE officers, ERO, HSI, in partnership with our Department of Justice, agencies, and other individuals throughout the federal government, we will continue to do the work to make sure that these criminals are removed from our communities. I want you to look at these posters that we have up here at the front of the room. One of the individuals, his last name is Munoz. He's from Mexico, and he was brought in and arrested for charges of homicide. Another one is Hernandez Rivieras from El Salvador. The charges against him are human slavery and trafficking of individuals in this country. Garcia's in front of us as well. His last name is Garcia Oliver from Mexico. He's been wanted and charged with sexual assault. And then another individual in front of us on these posters in front of us is Gonzalez Rivas. He's from El Salvador and is wanted for assault. These individuals have been arrested because of these individual law enforcement officers in our community and will be brought to justice and deported from our country, never to return. We also had operation that has been working in this area specific to visa fraud. Visa fraud has been very rampant in these cities, and the USCIS agency has worked on Operation Twin Shield, which is a first of its kind visa fraud operation that has gone out and investigated those who maybe came into this country under wrong paperwork or overstayed and refused to leave, and they utilized fraud to do so. It has been incredible the work that these officers have done in conjunction with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services to make sure that those individuals no longer get to break our laws and aren't held to consequences of it. The violence against our law enforcement officers has gone up 1,000% in recent days, which means because of the rhetoric of politicians in Washington, D.C., but also here locally, our law enforcement officers have been demonized. And because of that, the consequences of the violence that they've had to face has been overwhelming for them at times. I'm here today to ask all of the people in Minnesota, all of the people in the Midwest and throughout our country to support your law enforcement officers, to support them and help protect them as they go out and do their jobs. Each and every single one of them took an oath. They took an oath to support and to defend this country, to defend their communities and protect people, and that's what they're doing every day when they go out and they enforce the law. They make sure that people who perpetuate violence on individuals are brought to justice, and that those who break our laws face the consequences of that and are removed from our country. We've seen attacks across our country on law enforcement, but also on their facilities. We last night had an unprecedented attack on a Coast Guard facility in California by San Francisco. We've seen individuals going after patriots who step up to defend not just our streets, but also defend us internationally and defend us on a national security standpoint each and every day. We need to change our ways in this country. We need to start telling the stories of the victims that will be protected, the people that will be protected, the families that will be able to let their kids walk to school safely now because that terrorist or that sexual predator is off the streets. We need to start talking about these families that need justice for the lost loved ones in their lives. And we need to make sure that we're talking and sitting at a table coming up with solutions on what we can do to make America safe again. Violent protests, violent attacks and riots, and attacks on our law enforcement officers shouldn't be happening in this country. This country was founded on freedom and liberty and raising individuals who can be examples to others of the way that we should live. The Midwest and the Minnesota has always been proud of that, and I think that we can continue to set an example by new agreements that we can reach with law enforcement agencies, but also this city and this governor, by making sure that we're enforcing our laws and that we have partnerships together. In fact, we've been very encouraged by the fact that we have one of our local counties that has signed a 287G program to help us be able to make sure we're getting criminal, illegal aliens off of our streets and out of our communities and off of our roads so that we can protect individuals going forward. The people of this state deserve peace, and I'm hopeful that we'll continue to see that through the good work of these law enforcement officers in front of us. If you get the chance today, thank someone who defends our laws. Our laws matter, and if we don't like them, we change them, but in the meantime, we're going to continue to work to make America safe again. With that, I want to turn it over to Sam, who's going to talk a little bit.
And that was Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem speaking in Minneapolis. We'll continue to monitor that news conference for you. You will have more on what she said and what others said coming up at 5 and 6 for you.